Hello and welcome to FinextraTV. I'm Alex Lipich and you join us at the Communify Fincentric Experience here in Miami. And I'm very pleased indeed to be joined in the studio by Michael Smith of Communify Fincentric. Michael, it's great to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, nice to be here as well.
And what a great event as well. Have you been enjoying it so far?
Yes, no, it's been tremendous. It's always fun to get all this whole group of people together and reconnect with old friends and see how things have progressed, because we're all bonded in the industry, but we all kind of do different things as well.
A great location as well. We can't really complain about that.
Yeah, nobody can complain about Miami. Yeah, right.
So we're going to be looking at wealth management. Is it harder to succeed now than it once was? And what are the kind of core trends that you can identify at the moment? Let's start there.
That is a big question, and I would say it is both significantly harder and I think significantly easier. I think if you were a wealth manager like 20, 30 years ago, I think you probably had a pretty easy time serving your clients because you delivered paper statements and there was really no expectation that you were going to engage with them in any other particular way other than investment management and things like that. And I think the number of things that a successful wealth manager has to be aware of and able to do well these days is much wider. However, I also think it's much more possible to achieve those things because there's all these tools and vendors and technologies out there to really help them be successful. But then, of course, you have to navigate that world as well to figure out what's right for you and your business and who you want to serve.
So like you say, so it's about having those tools on hand to be able to make your way and successfully succeed through it. Talking about products and product development, one issue at the moment is products are having to be developed at speed to kind of keep ahead of the game, so to speak. What differentiates, in your opinion, a good product from a bad one?
I think a good product is one where it's been defined in a way that the person, like the actual investor who owns it, understands it. I think there's a lot of very sophisticated people who can come up with some very complex, sophisticated instruments. There's probably tremendous need for those in some form or another, but the reality, I think, in the States, in the UK and Western world, there's a huge need for core wealth management services just to even meet the what's basically possible with who an individual is in terms of their income and what might be possible for them in terms of retirement. And the complexity of those products, I think, is overwhelming, certainly to the investor, if not the financial advisor who's having to be the master of all those things and explain them and be in control of them and recommend them or not recommend them. I think it's a very diverse environment that's really challenging in navigating, and I think a lot of people would be better off sticking with the more simpler approaches. Yeah.
You've identified some of the challenges there and the opportunities as well. We talk a lot about the customer journey. How can these products combine, if you like, to ensure that ideal, perfect customer journey throughout?
So I think there's different entry points for all types of customer journeys. One of the things that we do a lot of work with in our digital agency practice is helping wealth managers really say, all right, I'm looking at high net worth individuals, I'm looking at entrepreneurs, I'm looking at larger volumes of maybe lower net worth clients. The empathetic needs of education and understanding to have a successful customer journey are different at all those levels. And I think one of the things that just came up in there is, how do you have empathy for someone who has had financial success where that financial success was not in the financial services industry? Because if you're in the financial services industry, you've spent a decade here, you know the lingo, you know the jargon, you need a financial advisor's help, but you're going to get there pretty quickly, whereas there's tons of successful people where our jargon and what's going on is a real hurdle for them to really have any kind of successful experience navigating that with a financial advisor. And I think the most valuable customer journey is one that meets that investor wherever they're at and then progresses them in a direction, but it can't over expect or under expect their level of knowledge or their level of understanding of of the products that they're in or what's happening. Yeah.
Really fascinating insight. There's so many layers to this, isn't there? And everybody's in different situations, and I guess it's tailored to each customer as well. But it's been a pleasure speaking to you, and I want to just thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, no, very happy to be here. Thanks.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. All right, great.